he might be on. He might. Chaim said that he'll either be on or he won't be on today, depending on if he has Wi-Fi in the place that he's going to be, and he wants to make sure that certain topics get addressed, including let us solidify by the end of hopefully by the end of this meeting, who everybody likes as the speakers and what the topics should be, so that he can finish the flyer. He's made a new flyer. Mendy, if you can maybe share the screen, put up the new flyer for those that haven't seen it. At least so it all should be on the recording. The new mock-up. It's a nice mock-up. And right now, what's waiting is to stick in the names and the topics. I think for Dalid, there it is. For Dalid Elul, I think it's Rabbi Greisman from Mashiach Sefer Torah. I think we obviously have a picture of the incredible crowd that was there at the Knesset. I don't know about everybody else, but I was blown away to see that size of a crowd participating in this. I did not know, honestly. I know, of course, that for the first few there was such a shtudim, etc. So the crowds of pictures, but that there's this lasting power of this, the eighth Sefer Torah, that it has that many. That I mean, especially in the time when Eretz Yisrael is right now being torn apart because of these the political issues, that everybody can come together in that fashion, I think is very powerful. I think that picture, and I think that the title is something simply along the lines of marching to Mashiach with the children's Sefer Torah. Talk from Rabbi Greisman on the power, on the behind the scenes of the incredible power of the Mashiach Sefer Torah, or something like that. Anybody want to change it? Because I think what we should just do is hammer out the titles. We should try to make sure we have a good title, but we can't get lost in the nitty gritty or whatever it is. More important that we get it out there, and I think just let the subject talk for itself. So again, if anybody says I'm marching to Mashiach with the children's Sefer Torah, talk from Rabbi Greisman on the behind the scenes. If anybody wants to behind the scenes of this the incredible children's Sefer Torah project, number one, and then I think Tishrei, it's Simon Jacobson, and I think what did we say as the topic that Simon's going to talk on? Maybe
talk about the Yechida.
Yechida. How do we make that sound exciting?
How do I reveal it?
What?
By the way, you should just know that we have another participant.
Reveal my
another
Mashiach,
participant.
my
Everybody,
How do I reveal?
to David.
Hold on, this is Dapkowski, right?
Yeah.
Okay, hi.
Yeah, so
that's my David. Was het meeste was.
What?
How are you?
Much better now that I see you.
Mendy, you're good at this. You're good at this. You should be a shliach.
That's why.
Not only that, it's even true.
Okay. Anyways, so I think Simon's name himself just sells, honestly. So I think whatever topic we put, we have. First.
Why don't you make something very simple? Revealing the Yechida Pratis, Yechida Klolis.
Okay, so yeah, fine. Let's do that. Revealing the Yechida Pratis.
Or why don't you use the Mashiach Prati? Or maybe in parentheses.
So how about we just do this?
Mashiach
Mashiach, revealing the Yechida Pratis and the Yechida Klolis. And that's it. And whatever that means, he'll talk about. Yeah, good. Okay, next.
We're talking to Shluchim, right? And they should understand that. The Shluch would understand what this means.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't need to say anymore.
Yeah,
I think, okay, go back up, Mendy. Go back up. We're going to do Rabbi Greisman first.
Spell Greisman.
Greism. Mach nicht kein Greis. Kein Greisman. Okay.
Do we put a first
Marching
name? I think it would be important to put first names, especially since talking about Shmuel. Shmuel guys.
Marching to Mashiach with the children Sefer Torah.
Maybe right from Eretz Yisrael, no? Something about Eretz Yisrael there.
Keep it simple.
No, I think we said. I say, Rabbi, we have to put a subtitle for each one of these. Shliach Eretz Yisrael in charge of
The eighth Sefer Torah, I think.
Shliach Eretz Yisrael in charge of the powerful Children's Sefer Torah project. We'll talk about the behind the scenes.
To me, it seems way too long.
No, but this is smaller text. Okay, whatever. I think.
Okay, fine.
No, but Mandy, one sentence, because it's that the shliach, the shliach. This is what he will be doing. He will be talking on this project.
You want to say just about the behind the scenes, or we'll talk about?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I don't know if we have to get that. I mean, it's not proper English, but who cares?
I
You get
don't. I
the
know.
point.
I don't care. I don't know anyone else.
Mandy, why don't you care about these things, Mandy? Okay.
Call me personally afterwards. We'll talk about it.
Rabbi Simon Jacobson. Shlita. No, just kidding. Okay. What should we be revealing the Chida? How do we say this? The
Why
Rebbe,
is it more than this?
no, but a subtitle to explain.
Oh.
Okay, whatever. I think we put a subtitle in either. It fits in.
How is
No,
it?
because
How is it relative?
Why am I focusing on Yom Kippur? Between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. Around Yom Kippur time, right? Yom Kippur, the day where our Yechidah shines.
okay.
How can it shine every day? That's the question. How can my Yechidah shine every day?
Good.
No, we have to say like the Rebbe's chayzer on the topic of how to make my Yechidah shine every day. It's okay if the subtitle is longer, because not chayzer.
Chayzer, but then you have to write one of the Chayzerim.
Right.
Make it sound like he is the Chayzer.
Right.
How do you say that?
Well,
One of the
One of the
Chayzerim. One of the Chayzerim.
Choizrim.
Right.
How about from a Chayzer of the Rebbe?
oh, Reb Reuven joining from Europe. No.
Yes. Und ich gehe auf Datsche, everything becomes active.
What's going on? Wait.
Not from a chayzer. A chayzer of the Rebbe on a chayzer of the Rebbe on a chayzer of the Rebbe on how my Yechidah can shine every day.
Chayzer.
Plural.
On how
my Yechidah can shine every day?
yeah, on how my Yechidah can shine every day. Okay. By the way, it wouldn't be then. It wouldn't then be. It's a statement.
How about living our Yechidah all year long? How's that?
On how to live my Yechidah every Nachum.
Every day, I think sounds it hits at home.
Yeah.
No.
I'm
Every day.
living my Yechidah every day.
My Yechidah or living Yechidah?
Living my Yechidah. Make it personal. My Yechidah. Living my Yechidah every day.
Living my
Through
Yechidah
Yechidah.
every day.
Isn't it through?
Living my Yechidah every day.
Does Zuchtman to live my Yechidah? The whole point is that through living my Yechidah, we live Yechidah.
But Yechida
Hillel,
the
by the
Yechida
way,
pratis. The Rebbe calls it always. The Rebbe
I
calls
have
it always Yechida pratis.
That's what you have in the title. You're revealing.
together in Altera. So this is where Lusovsky,
Which
Hillel
Lusovsky?
Rabbi Hillel
Yes, come on to the
Lusovsky. Why did you close your mic, Rabbi Hillel? Rabbi
It was
Hillel.
noisy. I had to mute him.
Why don't we see who he's on? Kevin, don't hide yourself.
He just went through. Hold on. He can talk about the Ness. He just went through a very big miracle. You know, the Bacher that hurt himself and there was a big accident. One of
On the way to Mars now.
yeshivas. Yes, his son.
Is that of interest?
the
Is that
one-
of interest for anybody?
For sure. What's the Shaila? After you finish the meeting, say the story. You have to Megala all the Nissim to bring Mashiach. What's that stuff?
Guys, careful, get off until. Yeah.
All right, after the meeting.
What time does how long does this meeting usually go
It's
on?
from 2 to 3. 7:70 time. Can you stay on to tell us the story?
Yeah, okay, I should be able to.
Okay, moving along. Ari Shishler, very simple. Rabbi Ari Shishler. How to make Mashiach a center point of your shluchus.
This is what
Ah.
he chose. Anybody spoke to him already?
No.
How to make Mashiach a center point of our shlichus, not your shlichus.
Right, of our shlichus, correct. And I say, I would write a dynamic shliach from South Africa who has successfully.
Why do we need titles for everybody?
No, because again, why not? The fact
It makes it official. It makes it nice. Yeah.
On the one that lists the 4 events, we're not going to have the subtitles. There's not enough space. But on the flyer for each individual, let's have a subtitle. Why not? It gives Chevra an understanding of why they want to join.
Okay.
It gives a cheshivas. He's right. It gives a cheshivas, just like you have by the Kinnis Shluchim. It's good.
Okay. Anyway,
I say a dynamic shliach from South Africa who has successfully made a Mashiach the mainstream the mainstream element, let's say, of his daily shluchus.
how about who has successfully brought Mashiach awareness worldwide?
The main element.
I don't want it to just be redundant to what was written in the title. So it has to kind of attack it from a little bit of a different angle. And then Mashiach from South Africa has successfully made Mashiach.
Is main better or mainstream?
Main definitely.
How about like this? Because I think it is true to say this. Who has successfully brought Kabbalah Samachos to his entire country. He has this. We want Mashiach.
Well, Malchus is intense. I love it. I'm okay with it, but is he going to be okay with it?
So we'll see. We'll tell him that we're not using bombastic rage, and unless he has a real issue with it. Look, he puts up billboards. He created this really cool logo for We Want Mashiach now. You know that like.
That's
and
very good.
He puts up billboards. I mean, he's made it a cool thing, and which is a word that in theory was almost like it would be almost worth saying, but we don't want to say it that way because it cheapens Mashiach. But he's made it a cool thing in South Africa.
So help me with the last words, Cindy. You almost said it. Who has brought Kabbalah Samalchus to
his entire country?
Wow.
Guys, no walking up the slide.
But what about the Nakuda of main element of his daily shlichus? Because that's what you wanted to.
Yeah, look, right now, I don't think the average shliach is in the mood or whatever it is to hear about bringing Kabbalah Samachos to his entire country. He doesn't have that thing, but at least I think Mechaver would be very interested in hearing how to take Mashiach and make it more of a part of my daily shlichus.
I don't understand that argument.
In the title, how to make Mashiach a center point of our daily shlichus, I would say.
Okay.
I would put in the title of our daily shlichus.
Very good. Daily, yeah, that's a good deal.
Sandy, I think I agree with you.
And then who would be the fourth speaker? We had some names. We
Now,
had
did
Rabbi
anybody
Bell,
speak already to Shisler?
to Ari Schlichler. That Chaim is working on, and Chaim has taken. Anybody have a kesher with Ari Schlichler that can help Chaim?
I reached
I
out to him and he didn't say no.
That's a definite yes. Huh?
And then Chaim spoke to him after me.
He spoke to him, or I left him a message.
Communicated. Also, wasn't Rabbi Bell supposed to be part of this?
No, we spoke about what Reuven had suggested, gender identity crisis, and Shea Stout we were supposed to approach Shea Stout. But then the day that we was going to give him, he has a wedding, marrying of his own daughter. So maybe we can shift around the times.
Oh, what happened to Avishai Afragan?
He got back to me saying that now he's extremely busy. He has to prepare for the Nuzman in Yeshiva. There's no way he can free himself.
Who?
How about Tzvi Freeman?
Tzvi Freeman writes well. Does he really speak well?
We don't need a dynamic speaker, but someone who can still give over ideas. We're not giving someone over here a lecture. Someone who's coming on and giving over some.
Why not going back to Shea Stab with another date? Shea Stab said he doesn't want to commit himself. I think that's what Chaim said, because that the date that we were suggesting, that week he's marrying off his daughter, his daughter. I'm not sure at this point. So that's why he said he can't commit himself. But in L'chule, in principle, at the maskim given. So I think him and the topic would be something which should be of interest.
Yeah. Okay, so why don't we put him down and have an alternate in case he doesn't work out?
Now, what are the dates are we looking at over here?
Dalid Elul, Dalid Tishrei, or whatever the Monday after Rosh Hashanah would be, or Tuesday after Rosh Hashanah. I said Monday is Tzem Gedalia, so Tuesday after Rosh Hashanah.
Tuesday.
Tuesday after Rosh Hashanah for Simon Jacobson.
That would be Simon, okay.
Then we would be doing Dalit or whatever it is, the first Monday in Cheshvan. And I think Adarabah, we can call Shishler's the Yaakov Halach Ladarke how to make a Mashiach center point of our daily
No,
Shabbos.
so it's before the Kinnis. That would probably be the one, the last before the Kinnis.
Right. Correct. And the next one would be the first one after the Kinnis.
So that's when you have
What's with the fellow Dubov from England?
Nissen David.
Oh, he once spoke for us about Sheva Mitzvahs B'nai Noach. Remember? He once
Yeah. We had him already. If we're already cycling through our old chevra, we should definitely get Moshe Brisky back and Mendel Kaplan back and Lazer Gurkov back. These are easy chevra. These are the low hanging fruit, but I think people would be interested in hearing from them.
Sandy, there's
anyway,
Rabbi Shea Taub's waiting for you.
Shea Taub on okay, gender identity. We have to find what we have to give it a halik. A gender identity. We have to give it some sort of halik.
Let's go back to what Reuven said last time. I think it's good. Isha to Soviet Gever.
Nekeva to save together, yeah. Nekeva to save together.
Nekeva to save together, okay.
How are we going to survive it if we're not even surviving now? This man should give it to save Nekeva. That's the thing.
Nekeva to save together. What's the Nekeva to save together? Gender identity and Mashiach.
Crisis. I think it's a gender identity crisis. I think is perfect.
Which shliach doesn't deal with the gender identity? It's all over the place these days.
I want to tell you something. It's not even funny.
Initially, when I suggested it, I didn't mean just clap the Mekuravim. And Pashit, how does it translate into our lives, into Shalom Bayis? How does it translate?
Yeah.
What does it mean in living in that kind of the dynamics are very different.
Ruven?
What I'm saying is that there's two points over here. There is the confusion that's going on in the world today. That's one aspect. And how do we understand it, and how do we give it a positive twist and a way to like deal with people that are struggling with this, with sensitivities and Torah and so on and so forth, so that we can take actually what generally would cause anybody else, any other Torah. What I'm saying is like this. There's 2 points over here. Number one, we as Lubavitchers with Chassidus should have an edge on this particular point more than anyone else should be able to answer this question, because without Chassidus, one is at a total loss with what's going on in the world.
Everybody.
You hear Sandy?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry.
Without Chassidus, we have zero approach to this. You didn't have nothing to say, because all you can say is that the world is totally denigrating. Masechta Saita, the world is coming apart by its pieces. It's coming apart by its seams. That would be without Chassidus. With the Chassidus, once you have that the whole dynamics is changing, and there's Aliyah Samalchus, which is leading to a feministic type of a movement, which is causing probably confusion in people, because there's an energy, as I see it, that's come somewhere in the middle between Zachar and Nekeva now these days, that's causing everybody to go into androgynous mode. This is something that someone who can really think this through and give it. This is something that we need to have like kind of shluchim would have answers, and not only answers, but bring out the positivity of it and bring out the Mashiach of it. And in a way, steering it into a place where it's apitite and not chas v'shalom, the other cocoon is. Right. Then there's another thing. The issue is, what does it mean in our own personal lives, in our marriages? What does this mean? The Kevet Asayv Gaver in Pashit, the roles of men and women as a husband and a wife in Shalom Bayis, in their whole interwovenness. How does this affect? What kind of marriages will there be? What kind of dynamics? Can anybody speak to this? I don't know.
Did you see the screen, Ruven?
In the meantime, Mendy Rubenfeld is having going rogue over here. But I agree. I think it's very so. Maybe we write it an optimistic perspective on this global issue through the lens of Mashiach. So this would be the subtitle.
How about something different? A transformational reality, or transforming. A transformational moment in roles, in our perceived roles.
You want to use the word trans? So maybe it's an optimistic perspective on this transformational moment as a precursor to Mashiach. Yeah, how about that? I don't know how to spell precursor. Sandra, you have to help me.
Cursor.
There is a fellow who spoke at my shul on this particular topic. It was fascinating. The only thing is that shluchim are not that would probably not be whatever. He's not a shliach. He's people are weary, especially by unzer whatever from Rabbi Yitzchak Ginsburg. Is one of his followers.
1 second, Sandy. Sandy, I don't know if I wrote it right. So you said as a precursor to Mashiach or to the times of Mashiach. What do you want to say?
No, yeah, I said precursor to Kibbutz. And I'm messing with it on this transformation.
To the era of Mashiach.
Because to the era of Mashiach, yeah, fine. Now we just have to find out if Sheish Tab is willing to buy into this speech.
Can you help me with the dates again? Can someone look at a calendar and I'll write it down? Like here it says Tuesday after Rosh Hashanah.
Let's give this to what's the name to do. That's the only one you have to do. Let's give that to Chaim to pin it down.
Yeah. Ruben, who is this guy that you said he spoke about it?
He spoke so well. He was so
Who is it?
fascinating. His name is Oy 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 Oy. There's two Chevra. There's Moshe Genuth.
That's an unfortunate name.
There's Moshe Genuth, and there was a friend of his. He spoke at my. I can look it up because he spoke at my shul.
What's Moshe Genuth's title?
Moshe Genuth is someone who teaches in Eretz Yisrael. He travels the world. He's a little too Yitzchak Ginsburg. It's a shtickle,
I don't have to say this, but what's his title? You don't have to give all
I don't know. He's a rabbi. I don't know. He's just really good. He's very. I really like him. The other guy's Menushi something. He wrote. He's mamish fascinating on the topic of feministic and masculine energy and all this stuff.
If I would suggest if Chase is not available and does want to do it, I think if you're saying that it was very fascinating, let you get in touch with one of these two guys, and you will come up with a title of his world-renowned lecturer, travel around the world, blah blah, and that's it.
How long ago was
We're not writing everybody who is his mashpia.
that?
Yeah.
Question is whether we wait on this topic for a date that's more conducive for this conversation. Or no.
I think when we come back from the killers, we're all in an identity crisis.
So back to the top over there, Mendy. Nekeva to save Gever, gender identity crisis. And Mashiach.
Did anybody see? We haven't been talking about it, but this is the Parsha Shoftim, and it's the week when Rettach wegen der Rebbe's news. Unbelievable. After Fox News is putting out this whole thing about diamonds, Avi Taub's diamond. You saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody send it out.
It's really amazing. It's Mamish this week, and he's talking about that I was close to Avi, and Avi that he was action. The Rebbe said there is diamonds. And this guy Mamish put his entire everything on the line. Namuna Shuta that the Rebbe said there is diamonds.
Yeah.
And now he passed away before he got to see the paytas of it.
Chevra, I'm gonna have to go. Do we have one more?
So do I. So
Do we have
look,
one more? Do we have one more? What's it called? One more speaker as a backup in case any of these guys don't work. So
Tell me again about Rabbi Bell. He said no.
Is Rabbi Bell? I mean, I know he's a very informative speaker. Is he going to attract a crowd?
personally, I don't think so.
Don't think so either.
Maybe I have a bias because I see him
No.
every day.
No, but I whatever, he doesn't. When I heard the naming suggested, it didn't do it for me. So
Okay.
I use myself as a litmus test. I want to hear all four of these guys. I want to hear all four of these people. I mean, we could get Gluchovsky. I just think that Gluchovsky is a name. First of all, when he speaks, he's very geschmack to listen to. And he could talk about that original Shulchan Aruch Yisrael, or we can get I think here's the thing. I know that a lot of when I suggested it, some of the Mashpim and Lubavitch, I think we have Simon already down, but I'll tell you something. I know for myself, and I could be wrong, and this could be my bias playing in a different way, but the opportunity to hear while I'm on Shluchas, Amol Herren von the Magid Yeshonim the Chassidus in Lubavitch, maybe even something. What about a Zalman Goppin or something like that would come and like
if we're going Hebrew, then I think the fellow from Belgium would be phenomenal.
Slavititsky would be amazing, actually. If it's you know what? Let it close, and even if it drains, let it just go because maybe the goat's going to want to come in. But if it drains,
you're talking about Hebrew, right?
That's the only thing.
Yeah.
It's here.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Every shliach, when Slavatitsky brings every shliach get the Netza to figure out how everybody. No, if we can get Slavatitsky, and I don't know who can reach out to him.
I can reach
but
out to Zapatitsky.
I think it'd be very geschmack, very geschmack. And coming from the kinnos, it would be very particularly geschmack.
And what's with would it be too extreme to bring someone like Volpa on?
I haven't heard from him. What's happening with him?
Ik heb hem gewoon niet gehoord van hem. I don't know.
Is he okay?
I don't know.
Ask me. I'm talking.
He has very strong pockets. As I spoke to him when he was at 770 last
When did you see him?
week. I don't know if he can speak publicly.
I think he's never physically not well.
Mhm.
I heard. I heard something as well on that. In that direction. He's not. That he's dealing with health issues. Okay, Chavra.
But look, I think we should
but
focus
Mendy-
now on those
Mendy
four.
and on Isaac.
I think we should.
focus on those
This is
four.
very nice, but I don't think you need someone like we said. You need an interview to happen. Gordon Giffen.
What an interview!
This is nothing. Who's this? This is people that people know these people, right? It's not going to make waves. Like a guy like Ishai Afrigan, something like that. We have to get back to that. We need at least one speaker to interview.
We haven't started working on those interviews, and we haven't
That's
started working
Zagif, no?
on the Kenneth.
No.
Okay, I'm gonna jump off. Initially, CC, what I committed to Chaim to do, I did. Yeah. I think you also have to give him the other thing is, and he's right, is we want to get this out. So the next thing we wanted to do is the Chaver will reach out to the various point of contacts for all the various WhatsApp groups or whatever it is in each state. So there's the list of Mandy and Isaac can put up that column, and then Paket use at least 10-15 minutes to think of lock down a name that we can all figure out how we're going to pursue to get this person in front of the camera for an interview. And and Mataiv, if we have to push out one of the speakers, one of these four speakers, and put this guy in instead and make him one of the 4 weeks, then Adrabah.
I have a question. How do you spell Gluchowski? It's
Glukowski.
like Lapkovsky.
Glukowsky.
Oh, you said
Glukowski.
say it again, slower.
GLUCKOWSKY.
W. Thank you.
I have a lot of experience with 3-syllable last names that end in ski.
No, there is an extra C there, I think.
Do you think he doesn't put the CK? I know that the American ones do, but it doesn't make a difference. All right,
I have him as CH. I'm serious.
Yeah, no, I hear, but I think that's only because of Hebrew. But the mishpacha and everything.
It's either CH or K.
We could just Google his name. Google his name in the shluch and whatever. It's okay, Trevor.
Maybe we should hear from Bosovsky. Hold on, maybe Rabbi
Bosovsky.
Bosovsky.
What'd you say about Chase Town?
Going to finalize with Chase Town. And the same thing with, okay, he's already in contact with Chisler. Mandy, are you going to follow up with Chisler to finalize with him?
Chaim's already in touch with him. He said he'll try, but he didn't give him a commitment, and I think Chaim's going to lock in.
Okay,
lock and load.
So who is going to finalize with Chase Town?
I wrote Chaim, but I don't know.
Fine, so because I don't remember who was one to speak to him in the past. All I know is that he had said that he can't make a commitment for the date because he's marrying off a child.
Right.
Probably Chaim.
Okay, so let's see if Chaim can finalize with him. Now, does he understand he's not getting paid for that? Because from what I understand, Chase has a fee for every speech.
If they're not paying, I can also speak.
Well, and for paying, you don't speak.
Good.
If they're paying, is Epsandish.
Ruvain, can you see the screen? You're already here. Your name's over there. Do you want to hear from Hillel?
Yeah, Reb Hillel, maybe he'll have some ideas. We're looking for speakers. Reb Hillel, where are you?
We have a whole bunch of guys over here, but he's Nishkan Niro, Nishkan Nishma.
Also, Chaim asked that we do the lists of groups and states to reach out to. I'm going to need some help with that. Maybe Mendy Majeski and I will work on it.
I can
It just
tell you
takes
what-
time. It's just
I'll
data
tell you
entry.
what I'll do. I can reach out to all the shluchim, all the French-speaking shluchim,
Okay.
and I'll reach out to the shluchim in Montreal. I'll reach out to the shluchim in Ottawa and the shluchim in
How are you going to do it? Maybe people can learn from you. How are you going to do it?
WhatsApp groups.
Okay.
There are so many WhatsApp groups that everybody's on. Just put it up on all those WhatsApp groups that you're on. You're covering the world.
Yeah. We'll reach out to all French. When you say all French, you mean like even in France or just in Canada?
Actually, no, and all French-speaking shluchim. There is a website. There is a WhatsApp group.
Okay,
French
good.
shluchim from all over the world, actually.
Okay, great.
I think there are about 250 shluchim on it or something like this.
So he wanted us to put down, but I don't think we'll be able to do it right now. But once we get the list, everyone's going to have to pick at the list and take achrayas for different places. And, you know, even 10 chevra can do so much more than one person.
Hold on.
Oh, Reb Hillel, though. Hillel, unmute yourself. Hello. Unmute yourself.
Oh.
Rose.
In England, it looks like they don't have very good. Oh,
I'm new to this whole thing, and I weiß nicht was. No one can see
Can
me.
hear you. We can hear you.
You can hear me?
Yeah.
yeah. And see you.
Okay, no. Bekitze, was ist dazu sagen? I'll tell you, Yanigul Mashiach, I tell you, there's a speaker over here, not yet a chassid, and for like 2 years, I'm asked him for my Menachem that it says, I remember from Nun Beis that the beginning of Refuah, by the goal, it will be Refuah of vision. And sagt mir, Baki, and sagt vor allem, sagt mir, sind sto as a medisch, and sto as a Meimer Chazal. Anyway, Bashgacha practice, Tavis or Kislev this year, I finally found it. It's a Sichon Beis, where the Rebbe brings it the first Refuah of the vision. And that's we get to all anyway, the Kitzer Chav Shvat, everybody knows. We don't know. My son was in New York, and to be able to see his mother came in for the first time ever, and his whole car turned over, and it was a series of miracles until he was and a series of miracles. I mean, the first week we heard that middle of the week that his situation is critical. So was kann ich in England? We did a sedal der gestorben shachat for the nissim that will be as if and my wife after 2 weeks was able to leave the hospital bed. She went to the Ohel, and suddenly they need her to sign that they're putting a trach in him. They're putting a shunt in his brain, and it's earth. And she wasn't there. She's the oil. So suddenly, after 2 weeks, they said for sure he's going to need a shunt because his whole flowing with the red is bleeding with red liquids. Suddenly, the liquids cleared up, and within a few days, it stopped giving off liquid. Didn't need a shunt. I came to visit him. I was in England with the kids. I came to visit him on Shoshan Purim, and it's going to be a simcha because he woke up since the accident like 3 days earlier. But by then he's already fed up that he can't communicate. So the next day I started to communicate. The doctor said just put a trach in him. I can't reden. For another month. Okay. I went to the I don't feel comfortable going to the plane. And I wrote the whole matzav. And then I called my kids when it came out that I missed all the buses, but I'll take a taxi straight to the airport, to the hospital. So don't worry, I'll be there for Shabbos. Okay. Don calls me up. Zalman just started speaking. I mean, I didn't even know I was crying. I just found the text someone sent me. I found it a few months later that a friend of mine sent me a text that a Mekurev of his was punked there, and I asked the Mekurev, I said, I can't go back to the oil, please be my idea that Zalman started speaking. He came out from hospital, he went into rehab. He walked out after he came out of rehab. So a husband of one of the from nurses who was there asks a shliach in the rehab, how did he leave the rehab? Was it in a bed? Was it in a stretcher or in a wheelchair? So shliach says, no, I saw a video. He walked out. He was dancing. So the guy says, come on, we know it's not possible. How was it possible? And shliach says, I saw the video. So shliach's wife, the nurse herself approached the shliach's wife the next day. My husband heard this rumor, but it was obviously not true. I mean, only so we ended up doing one in England they did for over here, and then one he made as soon as he made a gomel, and then we made one for the family. After the solicitor for the family and the doctors, then my wife heard b'chlal that was mir garnish gewusst that as soon as he was an accident, all the doctors were agreeing that it doesn't have a chance. Question was, should they push for organ donation or not? The hospital was trying to figure out how to diplomatically get us to agree to organ donation. And the Frum staff were trying to get us this. When they told us the situation was critical, it was only after stabilized enough that they'll tell us, even though it's stable, it's somewhat stable, it's still critical. As I given Nissim the ganze Zeit, and now he had a scheduled, he had a scheduled something to take out some blood clots. And they said he had whatever it was, that will be for life, and instead of taking out the blood clots, they took out the filter, took out and Baruch Hashem, even with his vision, he's seen whatever the doctor said there's not a chance I'm seeing anything from his right eye, and he sees already light and dark from his right eye. But it's just like Mashiach. On the other hand, he has to also do exercises. So also, it should tell him things that will not together. The doctor says and they should so I think it's very, very Mashiach-dik, like everything. Ganzel, you see Mashiach-dik says, you see the phenomenon, the whole world, everything changes. The change the transformation. That's given the ganze Megillah.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you for sharing.
Who am I speaking to over here? Amen. Who's the label over here?
Label is our official writer.
He's the writer of the Mendy and the Golem, the Kent's Mendy and the Golem.
Ja, ich denke, sie gewinnen ein Label. Wie heißt der Name?
Das ist er.
What was your last name again?
Das ist who.
Nicht der Golem. Is label.
Nicht der Golem. Das weiß ich, aber der Golem will nicht.
Don't ask my wife.
There was no need for you to say that comment.
And who's the anonymous rabbi?
We don't know. We don't know.
He's still hiding. Who is the rabbi? Talking about the rabbi?
We don't know.
Whoever that is, I hope you don't take offense.
We can have a whole class.
I hope you won't take offense at what I'm saying, but we had over here a mashpia to Geisen Revolve Dringglas. So whenever somebody went over to Rabbi and says, Rabbi Dringglas, sagt ich bin nicht kein Rabbi, ich bin Ayid.
Good.
Zusha, you know that green glass is related to Blasovsky that you're talking to
Right.
over here.
Uncle, a great
He's
uncle.
Mendy Ruben. Velvul is Mendy Rubenfeld's great uncle, kids.
Emes. By the way, Hillel is my first cousin, so.
I hear. Okay. So we're related. I have an Adam, Mandy Blasovsky
Yeah.
from Australia.
Whatever.
My Adam's Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Adam by Jacobson. So shame. So now we're going to start become Yanktas, Bechotanim and Bechotanis. Shame. So this is your mama Mashiach time. So
We need a speaker for our interview. Who can we tap into? You think he's a big? He would do it. This guy, what's his name? The big guy from Tesla. No, if you ask him to talk about the Musk. Ask Musk. The Musk. No.
No, I have to Musk. His name is Jewish. Elon.
Talk about
You
the
don't want to take away the
mitzvahs.
Jewish part of him.
the only problem is he might think that he's Mashiach. There might be a problem there.
No,
No?
He does.
but we know that that mess. What's the chiluk?
Who's the speaker? Who is the speaker?
No, we're trying to get speakers, trying to interview people,
I
how they
gave
see
Chaim- I
Mashiach in
gave
their life.
Chaim a phone number.
Yeah, but who's the one who suggested?
Well,
We're talking about Musk.
Chaim a number of someone that's Israel who he should call. This guy apparently has a few people, professors in different fields, that we should be able to approach. So I hope that Chaim is doing it.
Oh,
However, I have to get off. I have a 3 o'clock appointment here.
okay, so we have at least a couple of names, right?
Lassen Sie uns Sendung reden, dann
All
mal
right.
zuletzt.
Yeah.
Amen.
I
Amen.
just want to write
Second
down on the
ago.
list. Arn Isaac, what do you say? We
Randy, you need me
say,
a couple of minutes to talk about?
I
Well,
think
I-
today's Rambam, in today's Rambam, if somebody says a neder, a shur, a nazir, but the day that Mashiach is coming, that gleich jetzt der nazir, right? This is the halacha in Rambam today. Call to Viden, see you in the Beit Hamikdash.
Amen.
For me.
What were you saying, man? What do you need?